Welcome to Butter Babes, a space where we celebrate wearable art and discuss how conscious fashion connects us to personal style, political values, and each other. Hey guys, I'm here today with Lily from Foubisou to talk about her brand and her inspirations as a designer. So Lily, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your practice and your art and your design.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Lily, the owner of Foubisou, and I'm from Seattle, but I'm based in San Francisco. And I've been running this like small business passion project since 2021. So it's been like almost 4 years. And yeah, so it's been really, really fun. It started as like a crochet brand and it's expanded into like machine knits mainly. Now I still crochet like as a personal project, but that's kind of where we're at. So it just started as like a personal interest that kind of like grew and grew and grew.
How'd you get started with like fiber
Yeah.
arts?
Well, so I've always been interested in fashion. Like since high school, I taught myself how to sew and like embroider. And I was like obsessed with Project Runway. And I always wanted to get into fashion, but like I never felt like I found like my place in it. With sewing, I was not very good at it. And I found it really annoying and like frustrating. And I always wanted to get into fashion. And then, of course, like when the pandemic hit, everyone was like learning new hobbies. And I learned how to crochet because I became kind of obsessed with knitwear, which also kind of makes sense with the pandemic and like everyone's kind of like wanting to be comfortable and stuff. So I kind of got really into knitwear and I was like, let me just teach myself how to make this now that I have like some extra time. So I chose crochet because it only has one hook instead of two needles. And I thought that would be easier for some reason. And I picked it up in 2020 and I made a like really bad cardigan and never wore it. And then I was like, this is annoying. And then a few months later, I picked it up again and I kind of just like ran with it. Like I love having something to do. And that was sort of like the thing that I started to do in all my free time. And it kind of has just snowballed. So 2020, I started crocheting. And then I think around 2021, as I got better, people started to say, like, you should start selling these. Like, this is so cool. And one day I was like, this is like finally my niche. Like, I felt like I found it. And I was like, let me just start. And then I kind of just posted a bunch of stuff on my Instagram and like Depop and ran with it.
Dude, that's awesome. And like, I
Yeah.
feel I have like my first projects are in like the first project graveyard. They're
So
like,
bad.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
Yeah.
know what I mean, sometimes I like reuse the yarn, but sometimes I was like, I just have
Right.
to like, I didn't invest in good yarn at the beginning, obviously, but it's just like,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I think it's like, I think like the comfort thing that you mentioned is super cool. Like, I think that, like all kind of like fiber arts, like they release oxytocin when you're
Yeah.
actually like doing the action, so it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. And like,
It feels so
and
good.
yeah, I mean it does. I mean, I can't do it near bedtime because like I get too like hyped,
That's
like
so
hyped.
funny. Wait, I love that.
Yeah,
Well, I actually have a question for you. With your
yeah.
old projects, do you keep them or do you? That's hard for me. Like, do I get rid of them? Like, what do I do? Sometimes I frog them, but it's like
Sometimes I
sentimental.
frog them. I try to find somebody that would want to use it, or like I
That's it.
donate it or something, because it's like if I don't, I mean, I try to reuse the yarn, but
Yeah. Sometimes
it's
I'm too
like you
lazy.
didn't get fit like back then. Like,
Right. Exactly. It's bad.
and moving from like now I'm starting to do knitting too. So like how do you feel like in fit wise? I mean, your pieces, I love the fit. Like
Thank you.
they're and it's like something that's really like I feel like you kind of graduate from crochet and you're like, oh no, wait, I want to make like form fitting stuff. So
Mhm.
tell us about like
Yeah.
the silhouettes you like to use.
Yeah, I mean, I love making like sexy stuff. I feel like that's
Yeah.
kind of fun with fiber arts because I always say like it feels like it's not always. I mean, fiber arts has expanded a lot, but everyone thinks like granny squares and like sort of like grandma when they think of like knits. And I'm like, I want to make stuff that's like kind of hot. And it's like mainly because I like stuff like that. And also because this is like my medium of choice. So I'm like, I just combine those interests. So I like to do like lots of cutouts and like form fitting. I love a maxi dress. Like I'm obsessed with anything like maxi.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and knitting is great. That's what I love about it is like it's stretchy. So like the fit is kind of flexible. Like with sewing, I would always just be like, ugh, it's so hard to get like the perfect tailored fit. And like,
Yeah.
like I
It's a lot
definitely
of
tailor
math,
my
like, at
knits.
the beginning. I'm
So
like,
much
"Wait, I
math.
can't do this."
And knitting is actually a lot of math too, I learned. Like I'm just
Mhm.
like doing these patterns and I'm doing like ratios and I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Yeah. You're
But
like,
yeah.
"Wait, I just wanted to, like, make my own clothes and be hot, and now I have to do
Right.
math." Like
Now to do math. Well,
yeah.
when I was on my Centro, I was like doing no tailoring at all. Like I would just like make flat panels and
Yeah,
then they would
yeah.
just like, and so that like though they worked, but obviously like I've graduated into like way more tailoring, but those were the days.
But yeah, dude, hot
Yes.
is, like, one of the top words, like, I describe your pieces.
Yes.
Like, I
Oh,
see
that's good.
the hotness.
I
And
love
it's like
that.
yeah, because it's like sometimes crochet too is, like, cute, but it's like, "No, no, we're not cute. We're hot. It's
I don't
different."
want to do cute. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like maybe sometimes, but that's just not where I'm at right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And it's like I feel like I think you've really like created like a I mean, especially like I'm an artist, so like I see like the palettes you use and like the just like the way you present the pieces also because it's like that's kind of like all we got, you know? Like I can't see
Yeah,
them, I can't touch them, and it's just like I can
right.
really tell like the artistry that you put into like photography as well. That's like
Oh my god.
super
I
cool.
appreciate that because that's
Yeah.
like so hard. And honestly, I always like beat myself up for not doing enough. So thank you.
Nah, I think that's part of like the you just like doing anything is fine. I think it's just like
Yeah,
throw it out there and it's good.
exactly. That's kind of been like from the beginning. I'm like, just put yourself out there. Like, just do that,
Yeah, I think people that value clothing so much too, like it's something that speaks for us without speaking. And
Yes.
so, how do you feel that making your own clothes contributes to your sense of self?
Oh my God. It's so huge. Like, this brand is one of the things I'm most grateful for in my life. And I just like love it so much. And it gives me like so much purpose. And it never gets old. Like, I work way too much on it and I work like 12-hour days sometimes. And like, I'm never tired of it. Like, I always want to keep going because it just like drives me. And like, that's kind of why I've always been into fashion is like, as someone who like struggles with confidence, like everyone kind of does. I always wanted to use fashion to rebel against like the social pressures that like maybe like I wasn't good enough or like whoever outside negative opinions. I was like, I don't want to hide from the world. I want to try and overcome this with my clothes and just kind of let the clothes speak for me and get confidence and end up eventually becoming someone who just has that confidence, because I just
Yeah,
pushed against it for so
fake it till
long.
you make it kind of stuff. Like,
Exactly. And yeah, and it says I've always been interested in fashion. I was like, I can't let people make me too afraid to live my passion. So I totally agree with that. Like the clothes, I don't know, it's just a huge part of like who I am as a person. And when I'm wearing a bad outfit, I'm just like, it pisses me off. Like I don't want to go
yeah.
outside. I don't know. It's just like, I think the thing in life that I'm just most interested in for some reason.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and combining that, I mean, I think that working in knit too is like it combines like the aesthetics, but it's also like comfort thing too. Like it's
Yes.
super tactile and like super sensual. That's
Totally.
like
I love that.
yeah. Whenever I'm shopping, I'm always touching everything.
Me
Like
too. Yeah, like when I'm
yeah.
thrifting, I'm like, what's the material? Like, is it
Yeah,
nice? You know?
totally.
Yeah.
Where do you source your materials? Like tell us about that.
Yeah. I actually buy my yarn wholesale and I dye it at home. So
That's so
that's,
cool.
oh, thanks. Yeah. So that's like how I get all my yarn. So it's kind of like an in-house project for me.
You have like so much
Yeah.
control over the color. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
and
And it's nice.
it
Like you
shows.
could always find, thank you. I know,
Yeah.
because obviously color is a huge part of my work. And like it's nice to just be able to buy a bunch of bulk yarn and like get exactly what you need and not worry about like it selling out or like, going out of stock permanently or
Right, right.
something. Yeah. And it's way cheaper. So that's also why I do it. It's
Yeah,
way cheaper.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
because well, when I started, like we were saying, I was using bad acrylic and stuff like that, and because it's the most affordable. And then I was like, I really want to have better quality yarn. So how can I afford to do that? And that's kind
hmm
of how I got into it.
I'm a painter, so I really like that. I like that idea. I need to like start getting into dyeing my yarns
You
too.
should. It's actually
Uh,
pretty easy.
yeah, I think yeah, and well, something that obviously catches my eye about your work is like the color pink. Like, what does that mean to you?
I know. I don't know. Like, that is such a huge color for me. And ever since I was a kid, it's always been like the pink glitter pens and like jewelry boxes and stuff. Do you remember like Scholastic book fairs?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, and I remember like I just picked like the pink things and stuff. And so that was
Uh-huh.
like when I was a kid. And then I had a bit of like a tomboy phase. And then I just think like in my adulthood, I've just like really come back to, I don't know why. I just love it. And I love color. Like, speaking of self-confidence and stuff, another way that I try to express myself and rebel against that is just to be colorful and as much as I possibly can. And it makes me happy. So I use color as like an outlet. And I grew up in Seattle where it's really like depressing and gloomy and cloudy. And like
Yeah.
the seasonal depression is so, so real. And I kind of started in college dressing colorfully to make myself feel better because I was like, at least my outfit is making me smile right now.
That's
And
awesome.
that's kind of also how it started too.
I'm an astrologer as well, so like I'd love to
Oh,
see your Venus sign. I feel like you have
oh,
some like
I'm a Leo Venus.
oh yeah, it shows. It shows. It's like you need to sparkle. Like that's like a real need. Like it's not a
Yeah,
want, it's a need.
it kind of is. Like, it's so annoying, but
No, it's wonderful. Like you're the only one that can
thanks.
pull it off. You got to do it.
Thanks. That's so funny.
Cool. All right. So, okay, how do you see your work contributing to like anti-capitalist and sustainable movement?
I love this question. I hate capitalism. Yeah, that's a huge part of my like art is rebelling against capitalism, sort of the slowness of it and like the quality. It sort of like demands a little bit more patience and like care from consumer standpoint. And like I like to make clothes that are like quality that will last a long time. And I love slow fashion because it kind of rebels against the direction that the world is going in right now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's this like slow fashion direction is the direction I want the world to go into. And so I think that feels really good for me. Also, I like to use my art as much as I can to raise awareness for like causes I care about too. And like, donating money or like collabing with people to like raffle off prizes and donate money and stuff. And so that's also how I like to use my art as much as I can. And it feels so good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. And like, is there a cause that you have worked with recently that is important to you?
Yeah, there's like a few. My friend Nasli runs an Instagram account called BDS Babe, and she posts like all the boycotts for Palestine. And I
Okay.
love Nasli. And so we did a raffle, I think like in March, where it would be like a $5 entry, and then you won like a set from me and like a bunch of stickers from her 'cause she does
Oh,
stickers.
cool.
And yeah, and we raised some money for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. And I love doing that. And right now I'm selling t-shirts that raise 10% of the profits go to the Okra Project, which is for Black trans people. It's like a mutual aid fund.
Hmm.
So those are two causes that were really fun to raise money for.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like, I mean, there's so much to get involved with, and I feel like too, it's like a solitary activity also, and it's
Yeah.
really like, I mean, it can be, but it's also, I mean, it's good. You have to like foster the community, and it helps get people like raise awareness about like artists in their area and also like things that are happening globally. So I think that
Yeah.
that's like super inspiring, and like it makes me want to find some organizations to, or like
Yeah.
just people to collab with too, and like
That's sick.
for the causes that we care about. You have your platform and your audience, and I think that's really cool that you're not afraid to speak your mind too, which
Yeah,
is
that's really important to me.
mhm.
I talk to my dad about this sometimes. It's like, oh, aren't you worried like if someone doesn't like the message or whatever? And I'm like, no, like I would so much rather just like have people know where I stand on something and like lose like potentially like customers or profit because it's just like way too important to me. And like it just feels so good to make art because that is like fulfilling to me. And then also to like be able to give back because of it is like a double whammy. So it's fun. I love it.
Yeah, I don't see the need to compromise either.
Me either.
No,
Yeah,
no.
like no, no.
Like wanting to get into this year, maybe
Mm.
we're
Oh
starting
my gosh.
2025.
I know. So exciting. Oh my gosh. That's a good question. And I kind of fly by the seat of my pants a little bit with my business. And so it's kind of just like, I don't really plan out collections like in advance or anything like that. Maybe one day I will, and that would be really like probably better. But yeah, I mean, right now I kind of just like live day by day. So I have like a bunch of stuff that I've already finished that I need to like do a drop off from like markets. I'm actually gonna do that after
Hmm.
this. And then other than that, I have just like a bunch of sketches in my iPad that I want to like come revisit. But I actually don't have like any big project plans yet.
I love that though. Like it's why live in this linear calendar? Like that's not
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of,
why.
and it's also a product of just being a really bad planner. Like, I hate planning. I really just like, I get an idea and I'm like, I want it now. Like, that's what I'm doing now. Like, you know what I mean? But I think
Yeah,
it'd be better
yeah.
to be planner. And actually, I actually do have one project plan I just remembered.
Okay.
My friend Nazli, who I mentioned earlier, we're gonna do like a release of like 4-ish t-shirts in collaboration also for Palestine. So that's
Awesome.
something that's like in the works. Yeah. And will definitely be coming like soonish, like this year, but that's like really early stages, so it slipped my brain a little bit.
No, all
Yeah.
good. That's cool. So
Yeah.
like what and like the t-shirt design process, like what are do you
Yeah.
draw or what's
Yeah.
that like?
I have Procreate, so I get a lot of ideas and I just sketch down on Procreate. And Nasli also was like thinking of ideas because she does like cute little stickers and graphics and stuff. So that has been great. I have recently been getting into raglan tees. So those are like the perfect like little baby tee for like any design. I've always been into like t-shirts and like baby tees and like graphics and stuff. And I kind of wanted to do that as like a side project, but it's kind of been like on the back burner. But since I'm getting into knit tees now, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just gonna come out through like
Yeah,
my
like a
knits, you know?
combo.
So yeah. So I have like a bunch of like graphic tee ideas that I'm gonna try to get into as well this year. Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Cool. What else we got? Okay, yeah. So slow fashion is definitely in the opposition of like disposable fashion. And sometimes I feel people might not understand the value of that. So how do you communicate that to your audience?
Yeah. I mean, I think kind of like I said earlier, I'm really sick of throwing away clothes I care about because they're just like not good enough. And so I think for me, it's like helping customers understand the value of a high quality piece of clothing and like how it just makes your life better to like feel you have products that you can rely on for a long time. Like I don't know, it just like adds like a little like peace of mind. So I feel like that's a message I try to like give with my clothes. I don't know. I just think like it is just like a product, but I feel like it can be like an overarching value in your life or add an energy to your life that is more whole. It just feels good to like invest in high quality things and have not as many of them, but you have things that you can rely on in your life. And like, I don't know, that's something that I try to like portray, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. It's like I don't want to come back to my like stored sweaters and like
Yeah.
find it's all like with like little balls and like whatever like sweater shit that
Yeah.
happens. Like I don't want
Honestly,
to.
especially with knits, because like I'll buy like a Zara sweater that's like acrylic and I'm like, oh, I really like it. And then you wash it and then you're like, I can't wear this. Like this sucks, you know, like,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was like
just,
a single use item.
yeah,
Literally.
exactly. And it's just like, I feel like people are basically like buying trash. Like people are like selling us
Yes,
trash.
girl.
And
Yes.
you're right. And it's like, it's annoying, you know, and I'm like just so sick of that. So yeah, and it's like it's trash and it's frustrating and we're like spending our money. And actually another thing is like, yeah, it's like $5 for the t-shirt, but like if you buy $1,005 t-shirts in your life, like it's gonna be way more expensive in the end, you know, if you're always like running
Yeah.
through clothes. Whereas like if you invest in things that last, you know, it's kind of like I think it's probably better for your money and for the environment,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean, it's like where is all this stuff going? Like it's scary.
I know.
Like
I know.
nowhere.
So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start making their own clothes?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I guess just start. Like I don't know, pick up a crochet hook and like watch a YouTube video. Like seriously, I mean, I learned everything like on YouTube. And even with like the knitting machines, I'm like there's so many like older ladies with like videos from like 2011 that like teach me so much
Yeah.
stuff on YouTube. So like, I mean, just start. Like it's gonna take a long time. I feel like to make something that's like really perfect, but it's completely like worth it to start. And I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time, I feel like, is like the main thing because it took me like a long time to make like crochet clothes that were like really wearable. But I
Mhm.
mean, if it's something you're passionate about, it's like gonna be like the most fulfilling thing ever to be able to make your own clothes. Yeah. So I don't know. YouTube is such a good resource, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I really love the videos that you make on YouTube. I've seen a bunch of your tutorials. I got a Centro and I'm like starting to like,
Yes.
you gotta practice with that too, though, too. You gotta like
I know.
train. Like, I call it the
Yeah,
like
you
my Centro
do.
gym.
No, literally. I mean, it's like a machine. Seriously, like it's intimidating, like to learn,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Because it's
And
like the
it's
same process of starting like whatever again. Like you're like
yeah,
a beginner's mind again. You're not gonna be good like the
exactly,
first
which is
stuff you
so
make.
annoying. Yeah, and that's like one of the things about having like a small business that's annoying. It's like everything is like a bit like you have to learn so many things like from scratch. And that's just like really difficult. Like
Yeah,
photography, like marketing, like website development. It's just like it's a
I
lot.
know. It's like I am my team of fun and I do everything. Like
Exactly. It's so hard. It's hard.
I'm human resources for myself. Do you have? But that's the most important role we have is to be human
I'm
resources for
violating.
ourselves.
Yeah, I'm literally violating the human resources policies.
No, girl,
No, I
that's the
know
most
though. It's
important one.
I know. It's so hard to have like boundaries. And especially if you really like what you're doing, you're like, oh, I just want to keep doing it. I don't need a break.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
it's like you'll know if you like need a break. I think like everyone just has their own like energy. And it's also like I don't know if you ever worked in like corporate job or anything like that, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like quality of time is just so different when you're doing something you
Mm-hmm.
love. So it's
Oh
definitely it
my God.
doesn't feel the same.
Totally. Totally. Like I'll work for like 4 hours straight and have to pee like the whole time. And I'm just so in it, you know? And I'm like,
Dude,
okay, I gotta
what?
get up. I have to stop.
We have
No,
to
it's
talk about
crazy.
like dehydration and like UTIs in the knitting
Literally.
community
No,
because
seriously
people you
though.
do not stop.
You do not stop. Like it's so funny.
You're like
Yeah.
one more row,
One
guys.
more
Then I'll
row.
be
I'm like, I need to get 10 more rows and then I'll go pee.
yeah. No, dude, this is like big like HR violations. This is like
No,
bad
it's so
working
bad.
conditions.
No, literally.
No,
I'm like the meanest boss.
no, you have to be a nice boss, dude. That's
No, I
why.
am
That's
nice
also
though. I am
why.
nice though. I know. I know.
uh, okay, yeah, more like cool. So, like, I want to learn more about your like inspirations, like music you're listening to while you're working, like artists, anything. Doesn't have to be just
Yeah.
from fiber art world.
Yeah. Okay,
Movies,
yeah.
anything.
Love. No, a lot of my inspirations, I would say like the first things that come to mind is like nature and music, like you're saying.
Hmm.
I find like so much inspiration in nature. I don't even know if it like directly influences my work, but maybe more so like it makes me feel inspired and like motivated. So I do like I take walks like every day through like the nature that like I live by and it just like makes me
Hmm.
feel good. And then music, like I love music and I use a lot of music that I love in like my reels on Instagram. And that like motivates me to make reels because I'm like, I want to use this song in a reel. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I feel like
Oh,
I'm
that's
making
so
like a
good.
music video. Yeah. And I just like love
Yeah.
incorporating that into my work somehow. But yeah, music is a huge inspiration for me. And I'm like, I listen to like a lot of rap. So right now I'm listening to Freddie Gibbs a lot. I just
Hmm.
got into a really old Project Pat album that's really good. Larry June is like my favorite artist of all time for like the past like 3 years.
Oh my
And
God, I love
just
it.
stuff like that. And I also love jazz. I love jazz. So that's like also like more of like a calmer influence that I have. But yeah.
No,
Yeah. So stuff
I
like
really
that.
love rap. I mean, it's like the poetry at the end of the day.
Oh
Like
my God. Yeah.
that's
And
like
it's
super
like,
inspiring.
it's so inspiring and it's so engaging. Like, I don't know if you can tell. I think I have a lot of energy. So like I love like the like
Yeah.
music that makes you like want to move a little bit. Like one of the main workouts I do is like dance workouts and stuff. So
Oh
like
yeah, dude, I'm a twerk.
yeah,
I dance twerk.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's incredible. Like exactly like that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, you might like the people. I mean, are you like professional or is it like a hobby?
And we do
Oh, that's
performances, but I'm not like
sick.
a
Oh my
professional
God.
dancer.
No,
Like
that's
it's
so
like a
cool.
twerk school. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. Like I
Yeah.
have there's these two twins, they're actually from Baltimore.
Okay.
And they do like dance workout videos and I subscribe to their Vimeo and it's like they do a lot of rap and like hip hop dance workouts.
Okay, wait,
I
you're gonna
couldn't
have to
recommend
send me
them
that
enough.
after
I will
because
send it to
I'm gonna
you.
need that. Like we're on summer vacation from twerk school, so I
Yeah.
need something to do.
Okay, I'll send it to you because I literally never shut up about them. I love them so much.
Oh my God, love. And also love
Yay.
they're from Baltimore, my people.
I know. I
So
know. I love them. Yeah.
but yeah, dude, dancers they need costumes, girl. You gotta.
Well,
That
that's
is
like
some.
one thing I'm like double crossing my fingers. Like one thing I would love to do is like make fits for like musicians I really admire. And like I have been able to make clothing for like some musicians that are like super awesome. And I want to like get into that more because it like combines like my love of music like with my work in a way that's like so dope. So that's another thing I would
Yeah.
love like more of this year.
Like, I just feel like musicians have the best style, and it's like,
I know.
it's just, brings like the visual part of their identity. Because like everything they wear is like
Totally.
super symbolic. I feel like it's always like
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of meaning when you
Yeah,
like, we like pick
totally.
apart the things that musicians wear, like
Mm-hmm.
with so much
Totally.
symbolism. Yeah.
And they're just like the coolest, you know? Like you like every concert I go to, I'm like, oh my God, that's the coolest person ever on stage,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know.
It's so cool.
I know my boyfriend like puts in a lot of
Oh
time into like the
yeah.
outfits. It's
I
very
love
important.
that. Oh my God. Have you made him an outfit?
Yeah, I made him like a crochet like polo, but I've also made my dance teachers. I made her like some like
Hmm.
crochet stuff, and it was like
That is so sick.
super cool. I'll send you a
Isn't
picture
that
after.
cool? Yeah, please
Yeah,
do. I would actually love to see that.
dude. Yeah, dude. Gotta go to a dance class. You'll meet some like people
I
that
know.
need costumes.
It's honestly, that's so true. It's so scary to
hmm
dance in front of people though. Obviously you do it. I never do it. So I'm like, let me so nervous.
But I didn't do it until like 3 years ago. I, like
Oh,
didn't
really?
dance as like a kid or anything. No, like not even like
That's
ballet or
inspiring.
anything.
Cause
Yeah.
same. And like I'm not really that good at it, but like I've gotten so much better. So that's inspiring because I always feel like, "Ugh, I wish I had started when I was a kid. Like I missed
Yeah,
my
I
chance,
know.
you know?
But like you really learn like physical memory, like stuff. It like
Mm-hmm.
comes like
It's
when you practice.
it's kind of almost related to like knitting and crochet. Like I love any craft that's like physical, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's like my
Mm-hmm.
bread and butter. So I love that.
That's cool. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Physical. Like I totally. Yeah. The senses need to be
Yeah. I
engaged.
need to
All of
be,
them.
yeah, exactly. Like tactile. I need to be like on earth,
Yes.
you know?
Kinetic. Like be like a kinetic
Yeah.
learner. Cool, dude. I
Awesome.
really loved talking to you. It was super fun.
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah. It was so nice to meet you.